Hi, and thank you so much for serving on this Sunday, April 23rd, 2023. I'm changing the way I do videos a little bit starting this month. So if you have not seen one of my videos now, I'm not going through the entire lesson. I'm only going to do a quick walkthrough of the Bible lesson and the follow-up activity. So for this week, we are going to do Bible lesson 150, The Heart's Desires, on pages 300 to 301, which is here. So you can see it here in the book. It is based on James 4, 1 through 10. So we'll be doing it as we always do. If you're in K through 2, the teacher will read it out loud to the group. If you're in 3rd through 5th, the kids will read it out loud to the group, one paragraph at a time. And there's several copies of the books up there. Following that, you will look up the verses, James 4, 1 through 10, to understand some context of this story from the ESV Bible. If you're in K through 2, you're going to look it up together. Teacher will read it. 3rd through 5th, they can read it on their own, and then the teacher read it afterwards to clear up any misunderstandings that there could be. And then these are the follow-up questions for after that. Also, we decided that this might be a really good time to do Bible prizes when they are looking it up. So if they brought their own Bible, this would be a time to give them Bible prizes. Honestly, we ran out of Bible prizes last week. We had a huge stash. So I'm going to do my best to try and get some here by Sunday. If we don't have any, then we'll skip it this week and we'll jump back into it next week. But so from now on, when the kids get their Bibles out to look up the verse that goes with the story, that is when we will do Bible prizes instead of at the end. So follow-up questions, and then we have 2 different activities. So if you're in K through 2, you are doing a craft. I'm going to show you what that craft looks like now. Okay, so this is the direction sheet that you'll receive with how to do the craft, so you can pause it here if you want to read it closely. And this is the old example craft. Ours is going to look slightly different than it, but have the same purpose. So it's supposed to look like a treasure box, and you open it up inside, and they did some Velcro, and inside of it says these 2 papers: my earthly treasure won't last forever, but Jesus's love will. And so they can draw, if you look at the example, they can draw things that are their earthly treasures, things that they really love here on earth, and then draw a heart with the cross inside of it, just a symbol that represents Jesus's love to them. So instead of doing brown paper, we are going to do this gold paper. It will probably be easier also to just fold it in half, hamburger style, instead of having to do like a multiple fold like that. So I would just have them fold it fat wise like that. And then they can glue this inside with a glue stick, and then they decorate it. Now, instead of doing the brads that they have on here, we're going to do sticky jewels. So there are lots of sticky jewel options. You can there's some thicker foam ones, and then there's just jewels. So they are sticky. They do not require any glue. So you can pass those out as the kids are ready for them. Make sure that they write their name on the back of their treasure chest when they are finished. So then that way, if any get left behind, we know how to get it back to them. But that is it for the K through 2 craft. Now, if you are serving in the 3rd through 5th grade class, you have an object lesson. It has a plate, water, pepper, dish soap, and journals. If you want to pause it so you can read the actual lesson part of this where it is scripted for you, if you would prefer to just read from that, or just kind of talk as you go. And I'm going to show you how the experiment works. So one person will fill up the plate with water. So we fill it up. You can't see it because it's water. But it's just filled up right to the brim so it doesn't spill over. These are breakable plates, so make sure you choose someone that you trust that will not try to break the plate. So you're going to take some pepper. I do only have one of these, so if you want to bring pepper, if you're serving upstairs, that's fine too, to have one on each side, or you can just share the one that I brought. So then have a different person do some pepper, grind some pepper onto the top of the water. All right, so you can see there's a lot of pepper on there. You want a lot so they can actually see this. So you're going to choose a different volunteer to come and put their finger in the water and see what happens. Nothing happens, right? It's just, might get a little bit of pepper on your finger, but nothing really happens. Then you're going to choose a different volunteer to put some dish soap on their finger and put their finger in the water once they have some dish soap on their finger. All right, so now that I have some dish soap on my finger, I'm going to put it in the middle and see what happens. And as you see, the pepper runs away basically from the dish soap. So we're going to draw a connection to our lesson with this experiment. You can do it multiple times since that basically involved 4 kids. You could dump it out and then repeat it until everyone has a chance to be a helper at some point. But if you look back at the explanation for it, It says in James 4, we read that we need to draw near to God so that he will draw near to us. We should resist the devil and he will flee from us. What are some ways that we can draw near to God and resist the devil? So like, it's supposed to kind of draw a comparison of like, when you're protected by God, the devil will flee. So the dish soap represents like drawing near to God, protection from God, armor of God, and the devil fleeing from us. What are some ways that we can draw near to God and resist the devil so that he flees from us? Some examples could be reading your Bible keeps us close to God, protects us from the devil. And then they can give other examples. So when you finish this experiment, because it is pretty quick, you can repeat it multiple times, and then have them get out their journals. There are extra journals in the cabinets across the hall from the classroom. So if there are any kids in there that do not have a journal, which they do have the container of journals in the classroom, but if they do not already have one, then they can get a fresh journal, and they can actually take today to decorate it, while the others journal about ways that maybe they struggle to be humble, ways that they could draw nearer to God to help protect them. And that is it. So thank you guys so much for serving this Sunday. I'm going to flip the paper over, so if you want to read the full lesson, you can see the front as well. And that is it for this week. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Thank you.